TV 24/7. Always thinking possibilities. SEM TV. Reliable news and entertainment.
SEM TV wakes you up, goes through with you, welcomes you back home. It's all about you, for you. We break your day to the rising of the sun. We start you off on the positives with self-energized refilling. Hand in hand, toe to toe, in a soothing by and by. We go through your day, keeping you updated with developments around your world and your endeavors.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are enjoying this wonderful Tuesday morning. I am Emmanuel Tamino Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. I'm taking you around the weather today so you can know how to plan your day, you can know how to manage your day, and you can know how to go about your daily activities and go about your business without the weather interrupting you as you go about that. So, of course, we're starting within Port Hackett in Rivers State. As you can see, the weather is expected to be quite stable as from 10 a.m. all the way down to 12 p.m. is a mixture of sunshine and clouds. But from 2 p.m. it'll just be cloudy without a bit of sunshine. But then the major change happens from 3 p.m. all the way down to 8 p.m. where we'll be expecting subsequent amounts of rainfall. As you can see, the precipitation is at 90% with 3 p.m., meaning we're expecting a lot of rainfall. And of course, its maximum being at 4 p.m., which we're expecting 100% precipitation. Of course, that means that the amount of water that's coming down is going to be quite much. So you should expect you're expected to carry your umbrellas. And of course, if you're a public driver or private driver, you're expected to drive safely because the weather is not going to be kind on you. But from 9 p.m. all the way down to 12 midnight, it's just going to be cloudy. And of course, if you look at the wind index, the maximum amount of winds we're expecting is 11 kilometers per hour, and that is at 3 p.m. expected because that is when the rains begin. The rest is going to be smooth sailing with the winds from 10 a.m. being at 6 kilometers per hour. And of course, towards the midnight, we're expecting still 6 kilometers per hour. And at midnight, it'll be going down from 5, 4 and 3 kilometers per hour. That's the most we can take in Port Hackett. Of course, I'm taking you to Asaba in Delta State. In Asaba, things are slightly different because whereas in Port Hackett, it's slightly cloudy around this time at 10 a.m. In Asaba, we're expecting clear skies, sunny blue skies. So from 11 a.m., it's a bit different because 11 and 12 p.m. it's going to be just clouds. No sunshine, no heat, just clouds. And then we can see the similarities because from 2 p.m. we're expecting rainfall in Asaba all the way down to 8 p.m. Of course, this is a couple of hours longer than in Port Hackett, whereas in Port Hackett we're expecting 6 hours of rainfall. Here we're expecting 7 hours of rainfall, but the precipitation is lower compared to Port Hackett, whereas in Port Hackett from 3 p.m. we're expecting about 90% precipitation, but here the highest peak we're seeing is 60% precipitation. But with the winds, it's slightly different because the highest wind speed we're expecting is at 6 p.m., which of course is where the rain rather tops out. So we're expecting 12 kilometers per hour of speed, but the rest is rather smooth sailing with 5, 7, 6, and of course the lowest recorded being 4. So taking you out of Asaba in Delta State, I'm taking you to Onitsha in Anambra. And of course, here in Onitsha, you can see that the weather is similar to Asaba, where it's cloudy the rest of the day, but from 10 a.m. it is sunshine as usual. And of course, we are seeing a trend with the middays from 3 p.m. all the way down to 8 p.m. having constant rains. I don't know what's happening, whether the gods of the rains were offended by these places that have been picked, because we're seeing the same thing with Onitsha here, with its maximum being 60% precipitation, with Port Hackett still topping out when it comes to the rain index. The maximum amount of wind speeds we're seeing is 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. with 11 kilometers per hour and 10 kilometers per hour. So, of course, taking you out of Onitsha, we're going to Aba. I would like to place a bet that Aba is expecting sunny skies. Well, looks like I was wrong on that one. 10 a.m. it's just cloudy with a bit of sunshine. But, of course, from 11 a.m. all the way down to 8 p.m., we're expecting rainfall. This is worse than in Onitsha and Port Harcourt, with it matching, even surpassing Port Harcourt's precipitation levels, with the maximum here being 95%, with Port Harcourt only having one maximum of 100%, but here we're seeing 80%, 90%, 95%, 85%. We're expecting more rains here in Aba. But of course, from 9 p.m. all the way down to 12 a.m., like in Port Harcourt, it's just going to be cloudy. But of course, the maximum wind speed here is 12 kilometers per hour, with 4 p.m. being the time you're expecting that amount of wind. So taking you to our last place for today, Jalingo in Taraba State. Sunny skies. This is beautiful to see, but of course that only lasts from 10 a.m. because at 11 a.m. we're expecting some clouds, and from 12 p.m. all the way down to midnight it's going to be the rainstorms with, or rather rainfall with, thunderstorms. But of course precipitation is rather low, but of course it's going to have some thunder accompanied, thunder and lightning accompanied with all that rainfall. And of course, with wind speeds capping at 12 kilometers per hour, we're expecting nice winds from the rest down 3 p.m. all the way down to midnight. The winds will be rather decent, but from 10 a.m. all the way down to 2 p.m. we'll see winds fluctuating between 12 and 11 kilometers per hour. That's the most we can take here on the weather report. I hope you've been able to prepare yourself. I hope you've been able to, look forward to your day and know how to plan against it, how to plan with it, and of course to avoid your business, yourself, getting wet. I am Emmanuel Tamino Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. And of course, coming up next, we have Vera Phillip taking you all around with travel and tours. Don't go anywhere.
You're better off with Sim TV. As your cheerleader,